All right, folks, it was a big night last night on social media as Win with Black Women were trending like crazy because 45,000 folks were on a Zoom call that initially was supposed to initially have about 1,000, then went to 3,000. So then they had to go reach out to the COO at Zoom to expand that particular list, and it kept growing, kept growing, kept growing. Joining us right now is Holliday. She's the president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote. To talk about that. Holly, glad to have you here. Look, the number kept going. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty said, you know what, it's going to be some 18,000. Y'all blew past that real quick.
Exactly. It was, we haven't had a viral moment, but we found ourselves in the middle of a viral moment in a good way. And definitely Congresswoman Beatty predicted it. We didn't believe it, but I can tell you on this side of it, we know it was true. And what you're saying is exactly right. We thought we would have about 800. Normally, we've been meeting since 2020, so almost 4 years. We thought we'd have maybe 800 or so, maybe 850. We couldn't even get on our own call. So then we had to back it up. We expanded it to 3,000. We blew through that. As you mentioned, next thing we know, it was 20,000. It was 30,000. It kept going up. We were like, where are these people coming from? And not only that, but let me tell you something. You probably are well aware, but when people want to get the information, when they want to know, they figure it out. So we ended up having 30,000 people listening to us on Clubhouse. People put it on their StreamYard and broadcast it all over social media. I don't even know how to get to Twitch, but I hear we were on Twitch.
Well,
it's we were everywhere.
Well, it's so funny. When I got a call last night, it was weird. Michael Blake and I actually were like calling each other at the same time. And he was like, hey, man, we need to do something. Hey, we want to do something with your network. And some of the guys were like, well, we could do this as Zoom. I was like, stop. We're not doing Zoom. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, guys, this is what we do. We stream every single day. I said, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use StreamYard. StreamYard caps at about 10,000. I said, we're also going to stream this on our YouTube channel, on the Black Star Network app. We already stream on Twitch. We also stream to Instagram. I said, so anybody who can't, so we've already got about 14,400 folks have registered. I said, listen,
that's awesome.
If they can't get in the StreamYard, they can just go to the YouTube channel. So I was like, trust me, we're not going to be trying to figure out, like, how can we expand? I said, no, we're going to be full steam ahead. So I told all the brothers, I was like, this is what we do every day. We got this. I said, y'all handle the speakers. I'm going to do the logistics.
The good news is you walked into it thinking, okay, we need everybody to know. We walked into it thinking we were going to do our normal strategy call. So
and let me say this here. First of all, Holly, explain everybody, because the people don't understand. Last night was not an aberration.
No.
Y'all have been doing this every Sunday since 2020.
That's right, since August 2020. And, I think we can safely say that Vice President Harris has been our mission. We were founded around the concept that we wanted to have a Black woman in the vice president's seat. That was the deal that we made with President Biden when he was candidate Biden, and we held him to that. We initially were like, pick somebody. There's so many qualified women. He ultimately landed on Vice President Harris, and we've been 10 toes down ever since. And we knew, because we not only support Vice President Harris, but we are very intentional about supporting Black women candidates up and down the ballot, from school board to dog catcher, right on up to President of the United States. And so we've had a lot of experience over the last 4 years, including things like Ketanji Brown Jackson, which you see behind me here. We were a big part of that campaign. And so we know what to do to move and help Black women, especially when we know they're going to be under attack. So we were ready for our strategy call to give our sisters the marching orders and give them the backstory. But what it turned into was we're just going to start with the marching orders. We'll deal with the backstory later.
And that thing it just kept going and going
And
and going.
going and going
And I was
and
laughing. I was
going.
laughing because you had women who were like, "Yo, we can't get in," and they were used to just being able to get in.
And let me tell you, and they were holding it down too, because we have very strict rules around our normal calls. So I want to shout out to the Win with Black Women who've been rocking with us this last 4 years, because we do have pretty tight rules and security normally. And there were a lot of things that were outside our normal protocols. And the women were like, you can't do that. This is not our culture. What's happening? But you know what? Ultimately, we realized that it was up to us to take advantage of the moment. Before we are anything else, we are organized Black women. And when we realized we had the audience that we had, we knew to flip the switch. And that's exactly what we did. We moved from being strategists to being organizers. And we were able to do things like, and literally we were doing this a little bit on the fly. We were able to capture almost 5,500 people who have signed up to be organizers in their community, and get the word out, and do all the things around mobilization in their own communities. We were able to fundraise. I want to say a special shout out to Star Jones, who runs our fundraising effort known as the Brown Girls Fundraising Collaborative. We actually executed that strategy with her leadership in 2020, and we brought it back. And again, because we've been doing this, we knew exactly who we needed to call. We knew how to get our link. And unfortunately, it took a little bit of time because they were still in the process of flipping the financing over. But we had our link at 11:30. And by 1:30, we had raised $1.5 million.
Wow. What is it now?
It's up to the last projection we had was about 2 hours ago, about 1.6 million.
Wow. So
And growing.
Well, it was so funny because y'all were trying to get off, and it was like, well, let's hit a million. I think it was like 600. It was kind of like, all right, 621.
And
right,
I heard
7.
that you sent a text that said, y'all better not hang up that phone.
Right. Listen.
I heard a rumor that you
No. That wasn't no rumor. Let me be real clear. I have often done auctions. In fact, yesterday, I was at my man Wendell Haskins' Original Tee Golf Classic. And Wendell, every year, Wendell is always thanking everybody, and he always forgets the auction. And I'm like, Wendell, how you always mess up the money? So for the last 3 years, I've had to get up, take the microphone from Wendell to raise the money because he always screw up the auction. So I was on, and I was like, don't y'all leave money on the table. I'm like, stick your ass on there till 1 a.m. and get to that million.
Well, we listened. We heeded the advice because we were like, oh, we're at 850,000. I think that was.
Yeah, y'all like, oh, I'm
and
tired.
We were like, well, we'll probably get there. We'll do it tomorrow.
Somebody's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Roland said we can't get off.
I was like, y'all don't you leave till you get that million.
Exactly.
And
well,
that's why
we listen. We're smart. We listen.
My favorite lines from Frank Lucas, American Gangster, when he said, a bunch of people in this room owe Bumpy a lot of money. Now I'm going to get that money.
Well, we got our money, and we're not done. We're not done. We got our money, but we're not done. It was important for us to make a strong statement and to be a part of the historic amount of money that was raised on behalf of her Victory Fund now. But we are not done. From here, we will be organizing at the state level, as I mentioned. We actually are going to be doing organizing calls tonight in 2 states. So we'll be bringing back that fundraising link, and it will continue to grow. So far, we have I think we have 29 states that have signed up to do these organizing calls. And so we're going to take it everywhere. Our goal is to actually do these calls in all 50 states because we know that Black women and Black people exist everywhere. But listen, this isn't just about what Black women are doing. We want to make sure everybody is a part of this. So we launched our, one voice, one fight, and we're inviting everybody, all of our allies, to join us and stand with us.
Absolutely. So, first of all, if folk do want to continue, how do they join the call? Do you have to apply? How are you going to operate moving forward?
Wonderful question. So, a couple of things. Operating moving forward, we will be reorganizing our call and taking some pages from your expert production book so that we can allow for bigger and bigger calls. We'll be sending out information. Follow us on our social media channels, Win with Black Women across all channels, or follow the hashtag Win with Black Women. We keep it nice and simple for you. And we'll be sharing ways for folks to get involved. They can get involved with us nationally, or as I mentioned, we'll be organizing state calls, but we'll be updating all of that information via our social media so that we can get everyone involved. And I want to repeat, for us, this is one voice, one fight. This is an opportunity for us to do what a lot of conservatives think can't be done, and that is to have a cross-cultural, cross-generational, real unity moment and show that we can unify behind this candidate. She can win, and we're going to make sure that that happens.